Hello and welcome to Artegan Flight 001. This is your captain speaking. If you are traveling through another dimension, you are in the right seat. A dimension not only of sight and sound and mind, but a journey into a wondrous new vibratory frequency. We'd now like to tell you about some important safety features of this aircraft. The most important safety feature we have aboard this aircraft is your attention. Please buckle up, everyone. It is going to be a thrilling ride. Hello and welcome to Artegan Weekly Bread, your spiritual board meeting. I am your Madam President of the Artegan, Natalie, spelled N-A-T-A-L-E-E. Feel free to stay for all of the psychic tarot and astrology reports. Feel free to skip ahead as you are guided. I hereby officially call this meeting to order. President's Report. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another beautiful week of life. And this one really is a beautiful week. It's going to get better and better. We are through our very first Saturn-Uranus square. There's some really great astrology coming up this week. We're in these full moon in Virgo vibes, so that's going to be pouring out throughout these next 2 weeks, taking us up to the March 13th new moon in Pisces. I guess what I'm most excited about is all of this forward momentum. All of the planets are direct, and so we have about 2 solid months to make a lot of progress before the planets start going retrograde. And all the outer planets, they're usually retrograde. All of them go retrograde once a year. Mercury retrogrades 3 times a year, and then Venus and Mars have a little bit of off cycles, but they do retrograde. And so it's a very special time where we can go on what's important to us. And it's just going to be up to us to discern, what's a priority, what's worth it, what's more important. And in the Piscean Virgoan energy, we do have to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves and monitoring, nurturing, replenishing our energy resources, because we could definitely be feeling like lower energy because Pisces that's just the name of the game with Pisces. So let's jump into the astrology report. Astrology report, everybody. Okay, so I'm going to take us day by day, and I'm going to include the lunations because they're very, very important, especially this week. So my favorite day of this week is probably, I like Monday, and I even like Saturday, because I'll tell you why. Okay, so Monday we have the moon in Libra in the early morning hours, kind of like overnight, depending on where you are on the planet Earth, making basically the whole day Monday, the Libra moon is making a bunch of trines and sextiles, which is very harmonious connections to anything she's talking to that day. And the moon in Libra's had a really tough time, especially last year, and just for a while with all of the capstone energies and Mars retrograding in Aries the last 6 months of last year. So this is a moon that is very happy and cooperative. And not only that, but she's finding the other side to be just as wanting cooperation as she does. So you can find that there's a lot more cooperation with authority figures, because this moon in Libra is trining Saturn in Aquarius, and they're both making beautiful connections to the North Node in Gemini. So there's a lot of great intellectual energy. You're probably having really nice conversations, a lot of harmonious exchanges. You know what I'm trying to say. It's going to be really free-flowing. It's going to be a lot as well. So there could be a lot to talk about. You could be working on 2 separate things at one time. You could be working with 2 different groups of people. With this North Node in Gemini, it does want us to stay open, wants us to stay curious, wants us to stay flexible and open-minded. So that's basically Monday. Tuesday, the moon will be void of course from the morning to like the afternoon. So that's a good thing. When the moon is void of course, it's not really in one sign. I like arts and crafts, obviously. Obviously. I don't have a lisp anymore. So Tuesday, that's a really positive thing. When the moon is void of course, the moon's not making any big aspects to anything. It's just literally off of its natural course. So that's working in our favor because in the early morning hours, that Libra moon in the later degrees is squaring that Pluto and Capricorn. So expect power struggles to come up. Expect someone to try and manipulate you. What I'm seeing here, it's really interesting because also what's happening in the early morning hours of Tuesday, March 3rd, is Mars entering the 29th degree of Taurus. Now, this is a big deal because when Mars was in Aries last 6 months of 2020, and then in the anaretic, that's called the 29th degree, the end of a sign, that's what gave us the Capitol riots on January 6, 2021. Mars was at the end of the rope. Mars was like tweaking out, very frustrated, the height of aggression, frustration, willfulness, and really upset about being controlled, really upset about feel whatever it was, feeling under control, feeling manipulated, and it was like the last straw. That was the energy when Mars was at the end of that Aries and ingressing into Taurus January 6th. That's what we got at that point. So again, Mars is at the end of Taurus, and it's not going to be that energized because this Mars didn't go retrograde in Taurus for 6 months and then getting squared by the Capstell, which is like once in a lifetime energy. So I'm not saying that that's going to happen again. It's not going to be on that scale if something does. But this is the early morning on Tuesday where Mars enters that degree, that the end. So what I'm getting with this is that combined with the early morning moon in Libra trying to be cooperative, squaring Pluto in Capricorn, this is a desperate attempt. This is a desperate attempt to manipulate the situation. This is a last-ditch effort to sort of like make things go their way. So it's almost like you could have really made some wonderful progress on Monday. You're working with a group of people, everyone's on board, everyone's on the level, everyone's on the same page. But Tuesday morning, and that could still be rolling out on Tuesday afternoon to evening, you could like touch base with someone else, part of the group, or like a different part of your life, a different thing, and find someone who's totally not on board. And not only are they not on board, but they're making like this desperate, mad grab for power and to try to turn things into their way, the way they want it to go. Now, if this is you, check yourself. Just check yourself. Check your biases. Check your logical fallacies. Check your own, if you're being triggered into like a reaction where you're wanting to just like grab and you know, that's always what it is when someone's being manipulative. It could just be more obvious on Tuesday. Now, it's going to fail. So if you're doing this, it's going to fail. If someone's doing this to you, it's going to fail. It's just this desperate attempt on Tuesday morning, and that's why we're under the protection of that void moon between the moon going from Libra to Scorpio, where it kind of loses some power. It's getting a little bit debilitated. But that happens Tuesday afternoon, moon ingresses into Scorpio, and the mood changes. So if that happens Tuesday morning or Tuesday afternoon, it's going to leave you feeling a little raw. It's going to feel less, it's going to kind of burst a little bit of the bubble because you just came off this high of Monday, everyone kumbaya. Tuesday, someone, you know, this is like, this could be family too, where everyone's on the same page about something, but then your spouse, you take the news to your spouse and your spouse is like, whew, and you're like, come on, you know, or, you know, coworkers, just expect that. But just expect when the moon ingresses into Scorpio, the mood shifts. So that person that's trying to desperately manipulate the situation to make it go their way, they're going to be especially bitter, they're going to probably accuse you of, like betraying the trust. They're going to make themselves the victim and probably project the perpetrator thing onto you, even though they're the ones who are manipulating you with emotional hijacking and like trying to manipulate the situation. And because it's going to fail, I don't see, with the moon going right into Scorpio, it's so plutonic, it's so underworld. I don't see them if this is like another person, I don't see them being mature enough to like kind of hold themselves accountable and take the energy to transform their own shadow feelings. It's probably going to be ego that gets the better of them. So prepare for that, and that's them, that's the other person. You just focus on the energy you're channeling, and you focus on how you're going to use that Moon in Scorpio energy, which is going to be to transform yourself and elevate your soul, elevate your spirituality. So that's Tuesday. Going into Wednesday, in the early morning of Wednesday, the whole day the moon's going to be in Scorpio. Early morning is really interesting because we have Venus at around 7 degrees Pisces, sextiling Uranus in Taurus, around 7 degrees of Taurus. We also have that Scorpio moon opposing Uranus in Taurus, squaring Saturn in Aquarius. So there's this T-square activation that's happening, and it's really, really interesting because there's this really positive energy with Venus and Uranus. This is like a surprise. Okay, if you're planning any romantic surprises, this is going to be good. It's going to work. So, and I'm honest with you guys. I told you, remember Valentine's Day? I was like, oh no. But no, this is going to be good. This is the time, okay? For those of you Romeos and Gomez's out there. So back to the T-square though. So back to the T-square, the moon in Scorpio is activating this T-square. It's kind of coming down onto the Saturn in Aquarius. And how I'm picking this up is that it's really positive, because T-squares, it's just putting a lot of energy and focus and pressure onto a situation, but this is positive pressure. This is pressure that's building up in that positive way. So it could be sexual attention. It's propelling you to move forward. It's propelling you to just go into the future. And so if you're feeling like kind of uncomfortable about it, that's like nervous, excited. That's like the excited tension where you're excited and the pressure's building up. That's kind of how I'm picking this up. So if you're feeling resistant to it, you're probably just like a little scared of the future or a little scared of what's going to happen. But try to steer that into excitement. Try to steer that into being really open-minded and really flexible and curious. Because you don't want to know everything that's going to happen. That's boring. Okay, so with the Venus sextiling Uranus, that's like a happy surprise. You're going to be delighted. You're going to be happily delighted with whatever this is. And then on the evening on Wednesday is when Mars ingresses into Gemini. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Mars is in that last degree of Taurus. So it's putting more pressure on the situation, on something in your life where it's like, you have to finish this. You have to wrap this up. You have to do it. You have to, come on, let's chip chop. So we can go into the future, so we can go and do other cool stuff. So Wednesday evening, what you're oriented to do is changing. So now you're picking up more projects. Now you're picking up a different thing. It's a new thing. You know, Mars and Taurus, that was its own thing. This is its own thing, Mars and Gemini. Now you're going to be motivated in a whole different area of your life. And you're going to maybe have 2 or more elements or variables or parts of that. Now we're into Thursday. So Thursday, the moon's going to be void of course from like the morning till like the afternoon. And in the later afternoon is when we have Mercury at 17 degrees of Aquarius conjuncting Jupiter in Aquarius. Okay. Someone like me has been waiting for this because I have my Mercury in Aquarius and my moon in Aquarius, and I'm like okay. Actually, I think John Malkovich has his moon in Aquarius too. This is a genius idea. And I've been trying to psychically channel this energy and get something other than genius, but all I'm getting is genius. So you're going to have to go look at other YouTubers and other psychics to see what else, other way they're channeling that energy, because all I'm getting is like light bulb, eureka. I'm getting like this absolute genius idea, a major step. Sorry, my hands are like all in your face. A major step forward. This is, okay, now take a look at this. So this is the last aspect. This is the last piece of the puzzle, the bow tie on the gift from something that's been developing since middle of January 11th. That's because these planets have been dancing since mid-January. They made contact. That was the first. So look around January 11th and see what was going on in your life, because something came in, something came through, maybe a genius idea. And again, it came up in middle of February. February 14th, as a matter of fact. Valentine's Day. So, but that was crunchier because Mercury was retrograde. So it was probably more like cleaning something up or finishing some karmic stuff. But this is the last contact. Actually, I'll use that as an example. John Malkovich, that thing in the back, that's John Malkovich, and he has these little spiky teeth. I don't even have a record player. I've never even listened to that. I was at my club. I was at Soho House for a meeting. I was totally doing something else that day. And there was like all this commotion, and my guest left to do their next thing, and I'm just kind of like, one thing led to another. It turns out that John had something going on that day with, oh my God, he's a Chicago photographer. I can't believe I forgot his name. Some Chicago photographer guy. They were collaborating on something. Now, here's a synchronicity that you might experience with this Thursday vibe, is that at that time, I was writing my horror script, and this is the genius horror script. This is the one, I don't say this about like everything I write. It's not like an ego place. This is just such a unique story. And in that story, I was looking for my mayor. There's a mayor in this story, and there's a mayor, and his main story has to do with a lot of interaction with another character that I wrote for myself, who actually doesn't have any lines, but I did that on purpose. So it was just serendipitous. It was just synchronicity that I was thinking about him, and I was sort of like, I hadn't written all those scenes yet, and I meet him that day. Totally, the stars aligned. And you guys, it was such an emotional day. I think I did really well, like not, because I don't get like starstruck or anything. Especially if people are supposed to be like super good looking, and they're usually like, their egos are like making them super ugly. But going back to Man in the Iron Mask, it's D'Artagnan and John Malkovich. If there's someone that's got like the integrity, it's like, that's what moves me. That's what moves me. So talking to him and the dynamic that we just naturally had, he and I, John and I, that was the exact dynamic in my script between the mayor and that character. And so it was such a huge confirmation to me. It was just like screaming, this is the mayor, it's John Malkovich, like write this role for him, and like all this stuff. So getting back to you though. And I'm so glad that I can take a deep breath. I have slippy ribs. So if I'm not okay. So back to you though. Mercury conjuncting Jupiter on this day, on Thursday, March 4th. This is it. It could be your eureka moment where everything just comes together, and it's going to be building off of something that's been forming and coming together since the middle of January, middle of February, and right now. I actually want to take a look back at that day and see what the astrology was, because I was not following astrology as like I am right now. So that was probably really, I think he does have his moon in Aquarius. I think he's a Sagittarius. He's either a Sagittarius sun or rising, and he has his moon in Aquarius, because I remember I looked that up. I looked to see if he had okay, now I'm sounding creepy, but I did. And so I found it, and I was like, oh my God. I remember we had that in common, like moon in Aquarius. Like that really is genius energy. But anyway, where's the genius in your life? Look at your chart, see where Aquarius falls in your house systems, and see where you're getting this really great idea or a revelation or something moving forward. But I feel like it's going to have the Iranian energy where it's just going to come out of nowhere, or it's going to move really fast. It's either going to come out of nowhere or it's going to move really fast. You might even communicate something to someone. Anyway, moving on. Friday is when we have the quarter moon in Sagittarius, actually. the quarter moon in Sagittarius, and in the afternoon is when the moon is actually going to conjunct that south node in Sagittarius. So this is a waning, losing in light. We're coming off of the Virgo full moon, so the rays, the effects are still oozing out over these next 2 weeks until next Saturday, March 13th, with the Pisces new moon. But at the quarter moon, this is an adjustment in our consciousness. We have to make a mental adjustment on something that's like, watch my full moon in Virgo live stream, and if you really want to geek out, look for the new moon in Virgo live stream I did in September 2020. But I talk about it within the Virgo full moon that I just did, so you don't really have to go all and do it. But I'm just saying, because this is like culmination, full circle of the past 6 months, and it's a major destiny change. It's a major karmic energy. This is like the finger of God. Remember that yod. And so this moon conjuncting the south node is also squaring Neptune in Pisces, also sextiling Jupiter and Mercury in Aquarius. So this I'm getting, okay, so tuning into this, I got burn, flush, steam. So it's like burning up karma, flushing out the emotions that come with burning out that karma. And I got steam, like fire to water, steaming out. It's like karma is being steamed away, the negative karma being steamed away. So you're getting rid of something. Whatever you're doing, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you're making such forward progress, forward momentum on something. And it's like overriding the other karma. It's overriding maybe regrets or what you got wrong or what you need to fix, or it's a path correction. So naturally there's going to be some, some stuff to clean up. And so that's why, like Tuesday, earlier in the week, that's when like you could be encountering karmic interactions with people that are kind of trying to control you in the situation. Also, I'm getting, if anyone is trying to dissuade you from doing something that you know in your heart is true, that's the manipulation. Whatever their reasons are for that, whether they're jealous or they are projecting fear onto you or they don't want you to succeed or they don't, whatever it is, it's their business. Let it go. You do what you know is right for you. All this Aquarian energy is really empowering anyone that's different, anyone that's unique. And you think of John Malkovich. Think of being John Malkovich. He's such a unique talent. He's such a unique individual person. Everything from his visual geometry of his body to his voice to his acting ability to his talent that you see up there on the screen when he leaves a little bit of his soul there. Like it's so unique and individual. It's unrepeatable. There's no one ever going to be like him ever again. So it's like, it's a shining bright star that's just like precious and beautiful. So you have that in your life. There's something like that inside of you that's trying to make itself more known in your life. It's trying to get in. So if people are going to be like, oh, I'm too scared, I'm just going to stick with my old patterns, people are going to do that, and you have to let them. That's their choice. Don't take the choice away from them. If you're trying to go into the future, trying to make Camelot with someone, and your mom can't go, or your dad can't go, or your little sister can't go, you leave them behind. That's their choice. Because when you try to manipulate them, even though if you think you know what's good for them or what's better for them, that's taking on their karma. That's taking their choice away from them. That's violating their freedom, their free will to make bad choices for themselves. And what you own, you pay on. You don't want to pay on anyone else's karma. It's bad enough paying on our own karma. Let it go. Okay? Someone really needed to hear that, I guess. So Friday, it's going to be like that shift in consciousness, this crisis in consciousness, and we're burning out karma. We're letting things go. We're making final little tweaks in the logistics and actual communicating and organizing and committing to things, signing up for things, letting go of things. You can be changing jobs, changing things in your family, changing living situations, or how you see something, how you feel about it. And that brings me to Saturday. Why do I like Saturday again? I like Saturday because the moon is going to be void just about all day. So what that's telling me, because remember, on a void of course moon, you don't want to start anything. You don't want to meet anybody new. You don't want to do anything that you haven't already done before. It's a downtime. It's a time that is best spent meditating, looking for lost items, and like processing. And that's what Saturday looks like. The whole day, the moon being void from Sagittarius to Capricorn, it's to process Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, probably processing the whole week. from Monday, when everything's going well and everyone's on the same page, to Tuesday, someone in the group is whacked out and then like making mad, desperate, manipulative power grabs, to Wednesday, when there's like potentially a very nice romantic surprise, to Thursday, when the genius idea comes together, or when things just fall into place. Click, all of a sudden, an argument could be gone. All of a sudden, an obstacle or a delay could disappear. All of a sudden, you get your Eureka moment, to Friday, when there's that quarter moon, that waning and losing in light quarter moon in Sagittarius, with that south node, with Neptune connecting to Mercury and that Jupiter in a positive way, fleshing out that karma. And because it's Sagittarius, you're letting go of being very attached to how things should look, how it should go, how it should be. I still maintain that openness for other mayors. You know, I had John in mind, but when I had the confirmation, it was clear. It was obvious. So Saturday is a day to process all that took place from Monday to Friday. And then Sunday, that takes us to Sunday. And the morning is when we have the moon in Capricorn trining Uranus in Taurus and squaring Chiron in Aries. This is a positive energy flow, but you're going to have to overcome some awkwardness. You're going to have to overcome some shyness. You're going to do it though. You're going to overcome barriers. You're going to overcome any kind of insecurity, feeling insecure, feeling awkward, feeling shy. Because in the afternoon, that same Capricorn moon is sextiling Venus in Pisces. So if you had anything romantic going on where you're like, I'm going to shoot my shot, it's going to go well, it's going to work, it's going to be a slam dunk, and you're going to be pleasantly surprised. So maybe you reconnect again on Sunday and it's a really nice, I would say that if that's happening, like if let's say you ask out your crush on Wednesday, the Mars is in Taurus at the last degree of Taurus, you're like all the sexual tensions building up, you ask them out, Venus sextiles Uranus in Taurus, it goes a lot better than expected. They like you too. Maybe Sunday's your date, maybe Sunday's your second date, I don't know. But Sunday, it's like, I feel like that's like two really shy people that are really good-hearted. Maybe they're very different, but maybe they have a lot in common. Maybe they, I don't know, but they like each other and they're like getting to know each other, but they're like shy, but they're like warming up to each other, and they're just sort of realizing that they can be who they really are in front of each other right off the bat. And so you overcome it, and then you just enjoy it. You just enjoy that you can be yourself with this person. And that is your weekly astrology. Let's dig into your tarot report. So, oh no, wait a minute. The psychic report. Sorry. So, there's too much. I'm thinking of redoing, maybe taking these things apart with the weekly, maybe doing like just a psychic report, tarot report, and astrology report in 3 separate videos. I don't know, because there's a lot of psychic stuff, a lot of psychic updates. So I kind of actually want to just skip over that. Okay. Tarot report. Oh, the Tower, starting the week with a bang. So there's definitely going to be revelations. This could be that Mercury conjunct Jupiter in Aquarius. There could be a lot of genius ideas, a lot of forward momentum, a lot of great ideas. And it's going to implode. It's going to explode a lot of, I don't want to say the crummy ideas. I'm just going to say it's going to replace the stagnancy. There was just stuck energy. And that's what this full moon in Virgo is all about, is breaking up that stuck energy so that you can move forward in more authenticity. What's the next energy for this week ahead, please? King of Cups again. Scorpio. Sorry, I didn't mean to say it that way. Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising is involved. Someone who's more powerful, they emanate power. You just feel their vibe. See, they think that they're hiding their feelings. I mean, they're not saying what they're feeling, but especially to perceptive people, empathetic people, you can feel them. You can feel them in the room. And you can probably even feel what they feel. King of Cups involved in the situation somehow. So is, the Hierophant. I'm going to take this all together. The Hierophant, 8 of Wands, and the 7 of Pentacles. So there's a commitment. There's news. There's news coming in. If you're communicating out or if you're getting the news coming in, it's been a long time coming. It's been a long time coming with this. It could even be like if it could even be a professional relationship, a professional partnership that you've been putting a lot into or that you want to start putting a lot into. There's a commitment that you're trying to make here, that someone's trying to make. They want to make this investment. For some of you that are already committed or already married, this is a conversation about putting more in because you've already been putting a lot of work and effort and energy into this connection. So you may need to reinvigorate, redesign, start over from scratch, and just sort of clean the energy, clean house, and just remove the stagnancy, whatever got a little bit complacent, whatever got a little bit too comfortable, whatever got to be unhealthy habits of the connection, of the behaviors, of the partnership. You're ready to have a serious conversation about it and see where you can update it. But someone's going to resist that. Glad it came out in reverse. The 8 of Swords in reverse. So the blindfold is off. You're not being held by anyone's... This is like no one can gaslight you anymore. That's a whole thing, you guys. If someone is saying you're too sensitive, it's because you're calling out the abuse, you're calling out their gaslighting, you're calling out their mistreating you, and they're trying to groom you to accept their treatment of you by just putting the focus on you, where you're gaslighting yourself thinking, am I too sensitive? They're just training you to accept a lower level of treatment of you than you deserve. And when you say something like, you know, whatever you're saying to them, and they're like, well, you're too sensitive, you're just calling them out on whatever they're doing and trying to hold them accountable. But what they're going to do is they're just going to put you on the defensive. They're going to change the conversation and point out something like, well, what are you doing in my business? What's wrong with you? Why are you so obsessed with me? Why don't you focus on yourself? It puts you on the defensive and you're like, I'm just trying to help. I'm not obsessed with you. I just want to fix this. And then you're defensive. They know they've got you tripping up on your defensiveness. And then they say, well, focus on yourself. There won't be a problem. And then you're in gaslighting yourself where you're like, man, am I like obsessed with them? Am I like not focusing on my own goals and ambitions and blah, blah, blah. So you're not doing that to yourself anymore, or you're not allowing someone to do this to you. You're free because she can walk out of this situation at any point. Any point. I was trying to say any moment and any point at the same time, and I said point. Natalie. So you're not doing that anymore. I feel like we have enough. I feel like we're going to clarify. 6 of Wands, Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck. You know that you are making these changes in your life, and you know that there are people that are not going to support it. I feel like you might be letting go of not just the people, but your attachment to the people themselves. I feel like you're elevating your perspective. This King of Cups is pretty perceptive. This King of Cups energy really is like the Michael Corleone, where they can really see and envision and feel what everyone's feeling and imagine and visualize it, and therefore can predict like this person's about to pop, this person's about to betray me. Da, 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 da. What you're getting rid of is an energy that could be like I'm getting actually like a false idol energy with this, or false ego, or false discernment. This is interesting. Let's take a look at the Tower. You guys are kidding me. Okay. I don't know if you saw it. We'll play it back. I'll look and I'll see. But look who is on his way back up. Okay. So something really happening with this Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Pisces, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising. Doesn't have to be, but interesting. I'm getting 2. There's 2 people here. It's like 2 Cancers, 2 Pisces, 2 Scorpios. Or it could be a Scorpio and a Cancer, Scorpio and a Pisces, or, you both have something in your astrology, sun, moon, rising. I feel like someone is, remember, okay, when I talked about the moon ingressing into Scorpio in the astrology report for this week, how some people are going to take that Scorpio moon energy and they're going to go really high, and they're going to use that energy to transform their own energy fields and elevate their own humanity, elevate their own awareness and perception, and be really scorpionic. Because Scorpio is ruled by two different animals, the scorpion and the eagle. One of you, it's like there's someone here that's going to choose the eagle and go high and soar above everything in the situation. And it's like there's going to be someone else that chooses to be the scorpion, who's just going to be a victim, and their ego is going to get all crazy, and they're just going to get real bitter and turn you into the perpetrator. And they're probably someone that's negative. They probably see everything really negatively. They probably are seeing the world and seeing this and seeing that and just like bemoaning about how negative everything is and how it's all doom and gloom. Because this tower is I'm getting like, oh my God, you're so dramatic. But I don't mean it like in a gaslighty way. I'm just saying that I feel like this person is like that. I feel like this person's like, especially if you have to tell them something, they just might, I just feel like they're going to be in a very narrow mindset. They're having like a personal tower moment, but there's some bigger thing happening in the situation. Tell us about this King of Cups. Clarifying this other King of Cups. Look at how different this is, you guys. This King of Cups has the Two of Cups to clarify, and this King of Cups has the Tower. Is clarifying the Tower. Someone is choosing cooperation, love, camaraderie, working together. Someone wants to work together, and someone else is just feeling attacked. I'm just telling you right now, like if you're dealing with someone and someone, I'm just saying that this person's feeling very attacked. And so they're responding to you. They're not even reacting to you and what you're saying and whatever's going on. They're reacting to some other issue that they've got to work out in themselves. And I'm feeling it's like an ego death, but they're resisting it. Let's take a look at the Hierophant. There's this commitment. Holy moly masticholi. This is what I'm talking about, baby. Anything that you feel like is, okay, they're also going to tell you don't take this risk. They're going to tell you don't take the risk. You're crazy. You're jumping off the deep end. But you know what's right for you. You know this is going to work. And it will, with the Fool clarifying the Hierophant. If you're jumping into a commitment, it's going to work because you've talked about it. It's almost like you've qualified this situation, you've qualified the person, you've qualified this job, whatever it is. You've been putting into it, or you want to put into it. But just expect opposition. Other people, if they're hyper focusing on your life and your stuff, that's kind of crossing a boundary. But you know what's right for you. I think it's bad again, sorry. You know what's right for you, and you feel like this is destiny. You feel like you're being led to this. You're feeling like you know, like this is where your future is. This is where your future is. And no one can tell you that. No one can make that decision for you. You're taking responsibility for your own life. This is a strong commitment too. Let's take a look at the Eight of Wands. The Lovers. Oh my goodness gracious. You could be talking to someone. Okay, so if remember talking about the romantic surprises and stuff, it can go really well. If this is congruent with your astrology and this is like if this is resonating for you, talk to your crush because they like you too. Oh my God. Yeah, this King of Cups, you're dealing with a King of Cups, or you are the King of Cups. And you're in love. Oh my God. Someone's in love and someone doesn't. Okay, you being in love. Here's the thing. You could have a crush, right? Let's go with that because it's exciting. You have a crush. It goes really well. You want to marry this person. Someone else is it's like you following your heart, and you two, Romeo and Juliet, following your hearts is totally rocking someone else's. It's like they don't want that for your life. They're taking it as some kind of, I don't know, they're taking you falling in love and wanting to commit to this person or jump in personally. And if it's not resonating with you, or there's two separate Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancers here, then Mr. King of Cups, whoever this is like your life is about to just change this week. Like everything goes so extreme, like this tower, like life will never be the same. All the structures in your life that are stagnant and no longer appropriate to your level of spiritual soul, personality, maturation, and your process of individuation, that's all going to crumble. And you have a lot of love and a soul person coming in. That's part of the new, this is like a huge course correction for you. Let's take a look at the Seven of Pentacles, please. Okay, the Strength wanted to come out, but he popped back in, but I saw it. Page of Cups, Knight of Wands, to clarify the Seven of Pentacles. Whew, there's a little, it's like a small message. There's like a little, oh, thank you. Okay, thank you. Yes, a little message. What she's telling me is that you feel a massive spark. Like this is a bigger spark. Like this is beyond the spark they talk about in movies and falling in love. This is like someone's countenance, the way someone carries themselves is it's not like it's just youthful. It's like they're always new, or they're always pure. Like no matter what they've gone through or what they go through, they're still pure. They still have this like newness about them. And that really turns you on. Because it shares it with you. This really, honestly, I am picking this up really strong that this is a separate person. This feels like an old crotchety person. And I'm so sorry if that's the case, because they're not going to like me saying that. I'm sorry, but that's like what I'm getting. You know, and this is like a new fresh little baby. Like with the, you know, like that. Like real, I'm getting like plush, lush, bubbly, or like just, and you like it. Okay, last but not least, let's take a look at this Eight of Swords in reverse. You're free of this. You're free of this karma. You've already overcome it. This is probably just the week where you're making, oh, that's so weird. She was on the bottom of the deck, the Queen of Wands, and she just gotten shuffled and popped out. The Queen of Wands, wow. So there's definitely someone here that is spicy. They are, ow, ooh, I can't do that. I have slippy ribs. But they're very attractive, very physically attractive. You're very attracted to them. They're very attracted to you. They're helping you. This could even just be someone like on TikTok. You're watching their videos and you're like evolving your soul and you're evolving your spirit or something, or, you know, someone on the internet, someone in movies, someone in, like my D'Artagnan. Oh. All my life, all I ever wanted to be was him. I love that movie. Okay, I was really little when I saw that movie, and like all I saw was D'Artagnan and John Malkovich. That's it. And like the energy that they were channeling is just so pure and full of integrity. That's what I always looked for. Like that's like the realness right there. How did I get to talking about that with the Queen of Wands? Anyway, oh, that's right. Okay, so it could be like a movie you're watching. It could be anything that you're taking in, but there's going to be like a figure, a person that's embodying that energy. Ooh, I don't like when I sound like I'm from Chicago. Okay. I love you guys. Have a fantastic week this week. Make sure to check out my mother's book in the link below. Everyone's loving it. Even, I mean, people are saying like, I don't read. I don't really like to read. I don't really finish books, but I love your mom's book. I'm like, that's such like the biggest compliment ever. I'm so proud of her. She works so hard. She's such a good writer. She's so creative and imaginative. She's where I get my writing talent from. She's a Virgo, Gemini moon. I love bouncing ideas back and forth with her. We're very creative people. And she's just really, I'm just really proud of her. So people are loving her story, and it's really, really, really good for your soul. So check it out. And have a great week, you guys. Enjoy the genius energy of the week. Go with the flow, trust the universe, and stay in the vibration of love, truth, and integrity. And I will see you guys next week. Until then, many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful heads, darlings. Mwah.